So I just watched Dolittle, the newest Robert Downey Jr. film. It's directed by a man named Steven Gaghan, I believe, or Gagan, I'm not sure. He's done a couple of films. I believe they were all like crime thrillers, or they're pretty dark movies. So seeing him do a Dolittle film was definitely a choice, especially in light of the fact that apparently after test screenings, they had to reshoot some stuff, re-edit some stuff because the film had too dark of a tone, which is really funny because it's very obvious that from the very get-go that this movie was re-edited. It feels like it lost its integrity. It feels like it wants to go dark. It feels like it has something to say. I don't know if that would be good. Probably not, because this movie's fucking garbage, but it might have been better. But this feels so soulless because of those reshoots and those re-edits. And it's just terrible overall. Besides Robert Downey Jr., the film has a fuck ton of people in it, including Antonio Banderas, Michael Sheen, Jim Broadbent, fucking Emma Thompson, Rami Malek. I think John Cena's one of the main guys. Kumail Nanjiani, Octavia Spencer, Tom Holland, Selena Gomez. I think Ralph Fiennes is in it. It's just like every fucking person voices an animal in this movie, and it's terrible. They all do. I don't know what the fuck. I don't know if they just showed up and they were like drunk and hungover, but they're all terrible. There's not a single... No, that's wrong. I like Kumail Nanjiani as the ostrich. That is the one saving grace of this movie, and they milk it too much. He's in it too long. The first couple scenes, I'm like, this is fun. And then he's in the rest of the movie. I'm like, this is no longer fun. But the first couple scenes with him, he does a decent job. Actually, he does a good job, especially compared to everyone else, because this movie has terrible voice acting. I pretty much like most of the actors I just named. And I don't know what the fuck happened, but it's scary how bad this movie is. But at the same time, it's kind of fun to just get out of the way what may well be one of the worst film of 2020. It's just, they at least hand it to me and go, here's your expectations. Like, here's what's to beat. And I don't know, maybe all the movies I watch for the rest of the year from this year will be better than this. I highly doubt it. I feel like 3 or 4 other films will be worse, but I'll probably watch like 120 to 130 movies from this year by the end of it. So it's pretty bad if only 3 or 4 beat this one. But it's just complete nonsense. The script is terrible. It's not just the jokes are bad, but just the very idea of the script is bad. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Dolittle's based on a book, but that book must fucking suck. Because Jesus Christ, they made Dolittle. I think this is the 3rd carnation of it, reincarnate, or 2nd reincarnation, I guess. There was one, I think, in the 60s, and then there was the Eddie Murphy one, which I remember fondly, but I'm sure is just god awful. And then there's the spin-off of the Eddie Murphy one where his daughter's Dr. Dolittle, or I think. So I guess that could be the 2nd incarnation. This would be the 3rd. There's been 4. There's just a billion Dr. Dolittles, and they're probably all terrible. But this one might be the worst. Maybe it's because it feels like it's from 2002. The animation on all of the animals is terrible. It's probably better than 2002, but none of them look good at all. They all just kind of look gross. Especially Kumail Nanjiani's ostrich. I know a lot of people don't like ostriches, but they don't look that gross. Jesus. Which is funny because that was my favorite character in the movie. But yeah, all the animals just look like they need to be put down, I guess. It feels like Dr. Dolittle has been drugging them with cocaine because they look like they're addicted to drugs. There's a funny dog with glasses. I guess that's probably the best looking animal, and that's probably just because Hollywood's made so many fucking CGI dogs that it's used to it. But the gorilla's terrible. The polar bear is even worse, especially the smile the polar bear has. There's a giraffe that shows up like twice randomly, just like, I'm a giraffe. I'm a giraffe. That looks bad. Actually, the parrot looks the best because it's easy to make a fucking parrot. They've made parrots for fucking years. The parrot and the dog probably look the best, and everything else looks just awful. Which, I guess, ties pretty well into the movie, because the script's bad, the direction's pretty bad. I don't know if that's just from the edits and the reshoots, but probably not. It feels like the movie is completely aimless in its goal. The main reason Mr. Dolittle, I'm calling him Mr. Dolittle, I don't think he has an actual doctorate. The main reason Mr. Dolittle goes to do his adventure is because he's at risk of losing the deed to his Dolittle farm or whatever. Because if someone dies, the deeds until she dies, which doesn't make any sense. And by the end of it, when everything's resolved, this deed, he doesn't get the deed changed to with him, which was the entire point. So it's still, as soon as she dies, she loses it, which just makes no sense. And I'm like, if the whole reason you did this was because she was sick, why wouldn't you be like, hey, I just saved your life. Can you change the deed to be like until I die? Also, why wouldn't he just have it forever? What? This makes no sense. I hate this movie and its stupid reasoning, and it doesn't even like finish what it started. It just fucking... It sucks so bad. It's so fucking bad. Let's talk about the cinematography real quick, because that's also bad. I'm not sure if they just didn't know where the animals were going to be, but it feels like the camera's just trying to figure out what the fuck it's doing the whole time. The lighting's also really bad. They try to use some natural light in outdoor shots, but they have like a giant hedge, so there's this one kid who's like one of the main characters. I don't even fucking remember his name. I think it's Stubbins. That's a stupid name. It's not even like funny stupid. It's just dumb. There's one scene where he like walks in and he's in like near a hedge and the lighting's so bad and it looks like I shot it in my high school video class. And then the human characters are probably the worst though. Robert Downey Jr. is fucking awful in this movie. I hated him. It was terrible. He has this really dumb accent that he can't pull off, but he also like whispers the whole time while doing it. He's just like, hey, it's time to go. Let's get all right, hey. It's not actually like that, but it's pretty similar and it's terrible because he even does it when he's like trying to yell. It's like me right now trying not to be too loud because it's 1:30 a.m. and I'm recording a fucking review on Dolittle 2020. But it's worse than that, and it's this. I think the biggest reason I'm so upset with this movie is it had a budget of I think $175 million, which is so fucking much money. It's so fucking much. To put that in perspective, I think the first Deadpool was for like $90 million. And that's like a action superhero movie. But 170, fuck this movie. I'm so angry that this movie exists and that I spent 2 hours watching it. But, you know, like I said, at least I know what one of the worst films this year will be. I'm trying to remember anything else I liked. Another human character, Lady Rose, I believe. She's like the main woman that's hurt. Her like assistant, her, I don't know, her subordinate. She's terrible. But there's like a little romance between her and the little boy. It's really bad. It's not as bad as Robert Downey Jr.'s stupid sob story that makes like no sense. It's the reason why he like stopped being Dr. Dolittle, and it makes no fucking sense why that would be the reason he stops doing it. It just seems, I think the biggest problem with this movie is Doolittle's just the worst person ever. He's just awful. He's a dick to everyone, and he's like, oh, my wife's dead. Now I'm not going to help all the animals. But he still lets other animals live in, so then he's just like, yeah, you're allowed to stay, but all the animals that are hurt in the world, fuck them. I may be the only one that can save them, but he doesn't want to because that would be helping other humans. Like I said, doesn't make sense. Very badly written. Cinematography, bad. Music's terrible. Every song, awful. Throw them all out. Yeah, just any part of the movie is badly done. It's ill-conceived. Acting's terrible. It looks terrible. It sounds terrible. Even the sound design's pretty bad. Like there's squeaking that's like way too loud or way too quiet. Some of the mixing's pretty bad. Like some voices are way too loud. Some are way too quiet. It's just, I think they took the $175 million, spent $5 million on this movie, and then bought a lot of pizza. Like a lot. Anyway, I'm sure you can guess what I'm going to give this movie. My lowest score, which is a 1 out of 10, because it is at least a movie. So I'm not going to give it a 0, because as long as it's a movie, it gets a 1, and it is a movie. I can definitely say I watched a movie. Here is my ranking list. There it is, right at the bottom. Don't watch this. If you need to watch it, wait for it to be like on Redbox. Pay like $1. Don't pay like 8 or 16 where some people have just... It's just better if you never watch this film. But at the same time, let's take this as a lesson. There was a little boy sitting right in front of me in the theater, and he kept yelling. He's like, "Look at the cute duck!" And he was enjoying it so much. And I'm really glad that he was. But I also hope, with all my heart, when he grows up, he never rewatches it, because he'll realize that it's terrible. Especially in like 20 years. 2040, looking at this film, I hope it's forgotten forever. But people will be like, "Oh, Robert Downey Jr., he was just in the reboot of Avengers where he plays like old man Iron Man." I don't know, that's probably a guy. Yeah, they have like old man Logan. They probably have old man Tony Stark. He probably plays him. It's 20 years from now, and people are like, "Oh, I gotta watch his filmography." They'll be like, "What? He did a Dolittle movie?" And they'll watch it, and they'll hate it. This will be hated forever, and I hate that. I wish it was better, but it's never going to be, because it's terrible, and I hate it, and I hate myself for watching it. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like the video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. These all really help us out, and I love hearing from you. Tell me what your favorite movie is, or tell me if you liked this movie. If you did, let me know why. Is it because it's bad? Or is it because I may have missed some great theming in it or something? Or maybe you thought the portrayal of John Cena as, I don't know, who the fuck did John Cena play? Oh, John Cena played Yoshi, the polar bear. Maybe I missed the genius of John Cena as Yoshi the polar bear. If you think that, leave a comment telling me that. And we'll have a discussion about it, because I hard disagree. That's okay. That's what film's about. Everybody interprets things differently. Everybody enjoys different things. So I hope you watch a wonderful movie, and I hope you have a wonderful night. Bye.